Back in 2003, 50 Cent released Get Rich or Die Trying. It was his debut studio album and has since gone to sell 9 times platinum in the US alone. Then in November of the same year, he followed up with the double platinum album Beg for Mercy, this time under G Unit. While this was a savvy financial move, 50 Cent felt there was still a missing piece in the puzzle. He wanted to diversify his label. His label was full of street rappers, and he wanted to have an R&B singer on there. This move was likely a bid to rival his archenemy, Irv Gotti, who had the successful singer Ashanti on his label. Chris Lighty introduced Olivia to 50 Cent, and by 2004, she became the first lady of G Unit. This made her one of the few women in hip-hop to have been the first lady in more than one label. She had previously been signed to J Records, where she released her self-titled debut album. However, disappointing sales paired with label politics caused her to lose momentum there. Eventually, she decided to part ways with the label. At G Unit Records, Olivia wasted no time diving into some of the label's standout projects. Tracks like Candy Shop and Best Friend became highlights of her contributions. Meant to become the next big thing, fans eagerly anticipated her music. She was preparing to release her second studio album, however. Just 3 years in, she was kicked out of the label amidst a couple of controversies. The album she was to release got shelved and was later released as a free mixtape. Since then, her music releases have become fewer, her popularity has dwindled, and she faced a messy kick-out from Love and Hip Hop. So the question is, what happened to Olivia? And where is she now? Olivia Teresa Longat was born on February 15, 1981, into a family she describes as full of true love and humility. Her father is of the Indian descent, and she tragically lost her mother, June Cleaver, to Parkinson's disease in 2018. As she looked back to all the wonderful times they spent together, she had this to say. By 2016, my mom was drastically losing weight and could hardly do regular things on her own. My dad is the epitome of true love and humbleness. He took such great care of her in sickness and in health. Olivia had an interesting childhood, as while most little girls were playing with dolls, she was using her playtime to write music and poetry. She was so good that her first poetry work was published in a book, Shadows and Light. What's even more interesting is 4 years later, it was inducted into the National Library of Congress. She was clearly meant for greatness, but her greatness would have to come after finishing school, so her parents thought. She graduated from Bayside High School in Queens, New York, and would later transfer to Five Towns College to pursue what had always been her passion, music. When she wasn't attending classes or studying, she was working hard in the studio, writing and recording music. With this kind of mentality, it was only a matter of time before she would produce her first album. And yes, her first album, she went straight for it. Olivia then signed a production deal with Dollaz and got an opportunity to work with one of her favorite artists, crooner Joe. Joe described her work ethic as that of a superstar, as she worked tirelessly in the studio. Late nights and early mornings, you name them. Joe's remarks would have a positive impact, leading her to meeting up with Arista, who then introduced her to the legendary Clive Davis. Stunned by vocal ability and raw talent, Clive Davis signed Olivia as the first artist to his newly established label, J Records, making her the first lady of the label as well. Things started to unfold perfectly until they didn't. Olivia had an incredible voice that was perfectly suited for R&B ballads. Clive Davis, however, had a different vision for her career. Instead of positioning her as a soulful songstress, he pushed her into the role of the bad girl of R&B, which didn't align with her true identity. 19-year-old naive Olivia Longat had to take a compromise there. She trusted him, and so went on to release the first single of her self-titled album, Olivia. The album did decently, debuting at 55 on Billboard 200 and number 22 on Billboard Top R&B Hip-Hop Albums. The album received mixed reviews, but generally had poor sales, which some speculated was what eventually led to her being kicked out of the label. Her first single, however, did quite differently. Bizounce became an unexpected hit, standing out as a catchy R&B track laced with explicit lyrics. At the time, most of Olivia's peers weren't singing like that, which helped her stand out, which was exactly Clive's plan. The song peaked at number 15 on the Billboard charts, and although there was anticipation for a follow-up single, it never was released. To Olivia, it was a case of what works versus what better could work for her. Following a lot of label politics in 2001, Olivia chose neither and decided to leave the label for Interscope Records. There's a lot of politics that goes down behind the scenes that nobody knows. They think I just make moves, and I really don't just do that. I actually left J Records with an executive who wanted me to come over to Interscope with him, and I didn't know the politics behind it until I got there. It was the whole political beef of somebody trying to take me with them to Interscope, and filled everybody's minds with something else that it wasn't, and made me think that they didn't want me there, so I'm just going with the flow. I'm like, where are we going? From there, she was managed by the late executive Chris Lighty, who introduced her to 50 Cent and connected her with his label, G-Unit. Even though Olivia was initially skeptical about joining G-Unit, it was after she had a meeting with 50 Cent that Olivia saw it as the best move. 50 did too, but not long. He would have an entirely different opinion. Olivia, now the first lady of G-Unit, had major prospects on the way. Hits like Candy Shop and Best Friend didn't take long to materialize. After such promising success, when did the rain start beating? In an interview with All Hip Hop in 2010, 50 was asked about his role with Olivia in her career, and he said this:
"Well, when you got an African-American female solo artist, she sees where she fits immediately. The problem is they spend finances like those artists. And if you don't have a record that connects fast enough, you accumulate a tab like a moth. And you look around like, yo, you spent $2 million on this shit." It had me compromising myself at a certain point.
50 implied that female artists tend to start with very high standards, even though they aren't selling yet. And that was the case for Olivia. He highlighted this point further when he mentioned spending $2 million on her, covering the costs of her makeup, hair, car, and other expenses. However, despite her hit features, fans weren't as interested in her solo projects. With the high production costs for her videos and personal upkeep, Olivia was ultimately dropped from the label in 2007. Olivia had something to say about that. "I mean, I'm worth it. You should have spent $4 million. I'm just saying, if you have an R&B artist and you're used to dealing with a whole bunch of rappers, who all you have to do is get up and put on a sweatsuit, like, come on, that's not fair. I'm a girl, like you said, I'm beautiful. I don't want to OD and be extra cocky, but come on, there's a lot of stuff that comes with having an R&B artist. So what's the problem? He can afford it. I'm your artist. You love me. You're going to take care of me like you take care of all your other artists. So why is it a big deal for me?" I don't know what he spent, but the point is, you're supposed to be taking care of your artist. Why would you even want to throw out a number or whatever you're doing? It's that serious? In a 2008 interview with Hot 97, 50 explained his decision to drop Olivia and why her album never materialized. Things took a turn when Olivia started working with Missy Elliot, more spending less time with G-Unit. 50 mentioned making several concessions in the label just for Olivia, but they never panned out. For example, 50 passed on shooting the music video for I'll Whip Ya Head Boy to do Best Friend with Olivia. In hindsight, 50 regretted this decision, as Olivia didn't blow up as he thought she would. Even though Olivia worked with Missy, she still didn't deliver the hits the label was waiting for. In fact, she passed on a Missy-produced track called Let It Go, which ended up being a big success for Keisha Cole. 50 went as far as to start a rumor that Olivia slept with Missy Elliott. Olivia would echo this in response. At the time, she felt increasingly dissatisfied with her role at G-Unit, believing they couldn't properly market her or help her develop a distinctive sound as an R&B artist. Spending more time with Missy was a move to establish her own name, as opposed to sleeping with her. They did eventually talk things over and mend their relationship. Olivia moved forward and began making music independently. In 2010, she signed with Dollaz Unlimited Management Company and was supposed to release an album titled Show the World, but it never saw an official release. However, she did collaborate on a song with Drake, who at the time was gaining significant popularity from his So Far Gone mixtape. The song was called Control, but its release faced some issues. Drake had initially recorded the song solo, but Olivia's manager, Dollaz, had her added to the track. The song was leaked online without Drake's knowledge or approval. After it surfaced, Drake made a statement saying, "I support artists collaborating and sampling music that inspires them, but I don't support taking unauthorized recordings and marketing them as features. I've never worked with Olivia, and I apologize to any fan who was misled into thinking that Control was a collaboration of mine." Olivia was frustrated by Drake's statement, as she believed he was aware of and had approved the collaboration. Regardless, Olivia did get publicity from the song.
I thought that's what mixtapes were, you know what I'm saying? And first of all, We heard you got paid for it, but I'm good because you gave me more publicity. Thank you.
At the time, Olivia was a major cast on Rich Dollaz's show, Love and Hip Hop. As the show went on, the relationship between Rich and Olivia began to fall apart in front of viewers. Rich started to shift his focus away from Olivia's career and more toward maintaining his relevance on Love and Hip Hop. After 3 seasons, Olivia was let go from the show, while Rich Dollaz remained. In response, Olivia commented, "Why stay on the show when your storyline is me?" Rich Dollaz quickly fired back on Twitter saying, "Looking for an excuse why you don't succeed when the answers are right there. It's you. You're whack. You have no personality. Nobody messes with you. R.I.P. your career." Rich Dollaz has a point here. During Love and Hip Hop, Olivia revealed she turned down a $1.5 million deal from one of 3 interested labels. Many artists would have jumped at such an offer, but Olivia refused to commit to a 3-album deal. She seemed to expect success on the level of Beyoncé or Rihanna without the necessary work. This decision made her appear ungrateful and possibly lazy. Her last studio album was released in 2001. Accepting the deal could have helped her build a fan base and release 3 albums. In 2017, Olivia promised her album And Olivia was coming. 7 years later, she released a 7-track album titled You Are, which commemorates her late mother. Regarding her relationships, Olivia Longot's dating life and list of boyfriends has always fascinated her fans. After teaming up with G-Unit, rumors swirled about a relationship between her and 50 Cent. However, when asked about it, Olivia said, 50 had these big muscles, so yeah, he was cute. We were having a conversation just saying, you know, I'm attracted to you. Okay, well, I'm attracted to you too, but we can't do anything because it's gonna mess up everything. So we left it there. After legally separating from the group, Olivia began dating actor Laz Alonso. Their romance is said to have started around 2010. Olivia was also rumored to be involved with a one-time boyfriend and Love and Hip Hop co-star, Mano. Although neither party confirmed the relationship, more rumors circulated when a photo of Olivia and Mano in an intimate moment leaked. By this time, she had moved on to former NBA star Terrence Kinsey. Like many of her previous relationships, this one too didn't last long. On November 29, 2019, Olivia took to Instagram to announce her engagement. She hashtagged, "I wasn't hiding you from the world. I was hiding the world from you," indicating her preference for privacy about her new partner. In the same post, Olivia referred to her mystery fiancé as "my fortress and my shield," and thanked him for restoring her confidence. Though Olivia had not married by the end of 2019, her social media activity suggested she might have found a promising husband prospect. Well, that's it for this video. If you found the content interesting, please like and subscribe, and catch you in the next one.